So we were introduced to our new character, Shiromaru, and we were getting a lot of stuff prepped for the annual budget meeting in September. So they've got, at the very least, 2 things that they need to do, which is the Perseid Meteor Shower viewing party in August, and then Nakami needs to take some picture and attend the Starry Night Sky photography contest. So it'll be interesting to see the continued prep work that they're going to do for these events that's upcoming. And then all the other things that I've talked about in the previous episode, which if you haven't seen my reaction or discussions to it, I recommend you do. I have the playlist down in the description. But if you guys enjoy the content, remember to leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. And if you didn't like the content, dislike the video and we'll be on our way. Let's get started. Yeah, it's taking some test pictures. Gain some experience and all that. Fucking, that is like the most casual fucking slap I've ever seen of a mosquito. I'm actually even more surprised that he's able to feel where the mosquito was on him, you know? Damn, dude. Mm-hmm. Distracted by what? Oh, why? You're gonna fucking blame him for not fucking... Damn, dude, why are you trying to fucking compete with him? I guess? So she's telling them it. Okay. That's a she-devil for you. Haha, our friend is awful. I know. In silence? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of bullshit. Man, let me tell you, I hate fireworks. If fireworks would actually get attention. She's thinking about, oh my god, in the next scene, it's Nakami. Oh, look at these boys just playing shogi. Oh, more practice for you. He just wants to hang out with you, man. Ooh, he's asking the important question out here, dude. Yeah, now y'all just together in a club? Yeah, just like love, huh? Fucking got him. Oh, well, somebody got ramen. It's good for them. Don't complain about a free meal. Uh-oh. Here comes the girl squad. Oh. It's because he still thinks that they still weren't gonna talk with each other, although she's already told them that they're in the same club. Hey, you know what? I've just seen that one from... Uh-oh. Damn! Damn! The utter savagery. Do you see the clothes that fucking Shiromaru's wearing right now? wild, dude. You see those fucking belts? It's out here writing notes. Looks good on the surface. I don't know, the stars kind of just look like dashes. He's just wriggling. And just give it to, Damn, dude. The red wheel should just roll out. Hōkago knows what's up. Oh, there's Rolo. Cat! And she just looked at it, she's like, oh shit, never mind. Was there an audio there? I think that I might have. You gotta adapt. That's why you gotta practice. Gotta keep going. Just think of it as experience, you know? You get experience points every time you take pictures. Alright. I love this cat. It's just watching. With his head just constantly looking around. Eggs? Wow! Just enlarge it. That's right. Just give it to, oh, who are you calling? Damn, she gave you this? Oh yeah, you wanna go to the fireworks? Oh my god, the NAPE! That's the part. Damn. Oh. Should have said that first. Uh-oh. Door's open. You guys just left this door open? Oh no, it's the fucking it's too good down there. In there. Alright, Nono, you wanna fucking draw for us? Oh no, not the curry. Oh. Wow, dude, the teacher's not, he's not even gonna fucking... Uh-oh. What's this joke? Bomb-ass seafood curry. Damn, dude, this camping trip sucks! Find you out if you try. What are they gonna do? Fucking search your bag? Is he just gonna sleep in this pipe? What a cat pose, by the way. Is that the... Damn, dude, fucking... Y'all just hanging out at a 7-Eleven? Oh, shit. Damn, that sucks. I sure... Oh, that's the whole fun part. Having the camp in tent. Camp in tent. Oh my god, damn. Hearing the rain in the camp tent. She just got this fucking competition. Ooh. In Japan, I guess, right? Do you even flush? Is this an auto flush? What are you gonna do, fucking blackmail him? None of your fucking business, bro. Unless you want to blackmail him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wash your hands. Yeah, they're remorseful that they got caught. Yeah, whatever. Oh! Damn! Holy shit, dude. This is like a fucking haunted area right now. For all 3 days? Oh, he's already feeling down about all the failure pics that he's taken. Ooh. Ooh, keep your head up. God, how many... Did you take this from home ec? All these cloth? He's some fucking colorful Terrorobozo. God, sleep like that, your fucking neck is going to hurt so bad. She's just gonna lay next to him or what? She's doing that in the, when she did in episode 1, listening to his heartbeat. Look at him, just napping over here. So we had the teacher, right? The homeroom teacher. Of course, he's the representative of people who don't particularly understand the idea of insomnia. And so, you know, he's just out here giving a little, really simple advice and tips, right? Which, honestly, that somehow, sometimes I feel like whenever I hear people fucking talk about, on Discord, on how, like, oh, I can't sleep right now. And I'm just over here like, I don't know, like, you know, like, I've been having sleeping problems in the past 2 weeks, but, like, it's not, like, up to the point where I stay up all day, right? Because, unfortunately, my body can't handle that anymore. I just die. And then I wake up later feeling extremely tired. But you know what? That's just me, you know? It's not that I can't sleep, it's just that I sleep too much and then I feel extremely tired the next day. And I always feel tired, all the time. But anyways, I'm going to, write some notes and we will be right back to the center. Oh, these are all the notes for the ISO change and, like, the first attempt, continuous shooting. Damn, dude, he's really got it to the fucking T, doesn't he? You know, the whole thing with this 7 fateful bridges, you know, with Nono talking about how if you take your crush and cross the 7 bridges over the Misogi River with them in silence, the two of you will be bound by mutual love, which just sounds like voodoo magic. You know, like, what if, like, your crush never had a crush on you in the first place, but you managed to just get them to cross these 7 bridges, and suddenly they're just like, whoa! I don't know about this person who's been walking with me for the past 7 bridges, but suddenly they're really hot. Oh my god, I'm extremely attracted to that. What if it is mutual love, but it's actually just platonic love, you know? I love you, platonically. Don't stare at my hair wool. What is a hair wool? I mean, she's putting it like right here, so it has to be that specific. Is that, hold on. Ah, the circular area. Okay. I mean, I don't understand. She has her hair up, right? So like, you can't even see the hair whirl. I don't. But obviously he's not staring at the hair whirl because we can't even fucking see it from his point of view. You know, he's just out here staring at her nape. What are these guys doing? Just fucking sitting at a, I mean, essentially, it kind of looks like a 7-Eleven just from the way it looks, but it's a convenience store. They're just sitting outside and watching videos? Look at these fucking bunch of delinquents. Oh, dude. And he dresses like a fucking, Haida. He dresses like a fucking, what is it? A fucking gangster, too. Like, the way that he's wearing his beige pants and his purple button-up shirt. Jesus Christ. Or it's like it's either, well, it's a dress shirt. It's most likely somewhere around there. You know, kind of like the same shirt as this guy, except it's purple. He's also got, like, the classic fucking gangster hair, too, you know, with it, like, being blown back. Alright, so that was episode 4 of Insomniacs After School. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode where we're getting not straight into it, but we're about to get into that third thing that I forgot to talk about in the intro, which was the opportunity to take a nice looking pic for the photography contest, which is what is it, this trip that they're going at Chirihama. There you go, they're going there for summer camp, except we're having the current issue of it's going to be rainy and it's going to be cloudy all 3 days, and we can kind of see the difference in attitude between Nakami and Isaki. But before I get into everything that is in the episode, I just wanted to talk about Connie first. Oh, dude, we hate Connie out here. But we're learning a little bit more about Connie in this episode as well, which, well, what I said in like episode 1 with Connie, it was like, she better give me a fucking good reason on why she's struggling and shit. And well, we're learning a little bit more about her, not so much her struggle. Well, I mean, we technically are seeing a little bit of her struggle, but we're learning why she doesn't like Nakami and why she has this one-sided rivalry with him, right? And after the opening, when Isaki is out here hanging out with her friend group, which other than No, I kind of feel like, why are you guys hanging out with each other if you just don't like each other? I don't. What is this girl's name again? I have completely forgotten. The girl who I said looks like she belongs in a fucking yuri manga. Anamizu, that's her name. Connie and her are just bickering with each other, and at some point, all I'm thinking about is, you know what? They really are kind of like one of the archetype of a yuri couple. You know, the ones that fucking bicker and fight with each other all the time, but in the end, somehow they're together. Wait, I don't understand. Why is Anamizu blushing? Me putting my yuri goggles back on again. What's happening out here, dude? Like, it's like, it's just Connie fucking talking, right? And then we have Anamizu who comes in and like basically complimenting her. She's also getting, alright, my yuri goggles back on again, so I need to take it off. Alright, I'm trying to talk about Connie over here, now I'm just like, oh, now I'm talking about the whole fucking archetype of a yuri couple. Oh no. Anyways, we're kind of seeing this whole spiel, right? She's like, if I had 10 more minutes or even 5 minutes, but I got distracted by Nakami sleeping in class. You know, right, she looks over to him, and she's just like, what the fuck's going on, right? Man's just sleeping. He's probably already finished everything. And because she was so distracted, and what did she do because she got distracted? She just erased her answers. Oh, dude. Anyways, as she goes and says, after this, what the hell is this deal? It drives me nuts. No amount of studying can compete genius like that, right? So it seems like that's one of the things that she doesn't like about Nakami, is the fact that he is smart and he doesn't need to study, but also he sleeps in class, and so because of that, it's kind of like this situation of I was gonna say flowers for Algernon for some reason. This series right here, Kissin' White Lilies for My Dearest Girl, where the main couple is, you know, one's a genius and the other one works hard, and they have a bit of a rivalry, except it's really more or less of a rivalry, a one-sided rivalry for her. Why am I going back to a fucking Yuri manga? Look, if Nakami was a girl, it'd be a Yuri manga. Anyways, we know that Connie has a distaste for Nakami, and she's just constantly out here talking shit about him, you know, and her kind of going like, oh, well, even though he's a genius, I've got more charm and beauty, which, cool, you know, and then she says, and a better personality too, and I love Isaki's just like, I guess, I don't know. You know, she doesn't really want to just straight up say it, but it's really interesting that, not interesting, it's actually understandable that her disdain for Nakami is so much that even when Isaki is just like, oh yeah, I joined the astronomy club and he's the president, you know, and the fact that she's hanging out with him and all that, you know, perhaps she is able to know some other side of him, who knows, you know, that you guys haven't seen yet. But again, Connie's disdain for Nakami is so much that she's just like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, you're in the astronomy club, I still hate him. Although I will say, this one scene of them in home ec, and she's looking over like, oh, he's about 80% finished, and here she is, you know, trying to beat him, but because she's doing it so fast, she ended up sewing her own apron into her, I don't know what that is, her jacket? No, it's her skirt. And of course, because of that, you know, she has to cut this all out, and Nakami ends up finishing it before she does. And like, that's a nice scene. In terms of like that one-sided rivalry, that's a nice scene. I like that scene with her trying to compete him, and he's just too fucking good for her. I like that. I don't like the constant fucking shit talking about him, alright? Alright, if you wanna somehow consider him your fucking rival or some shit, just learn to do better and not talk shit about it. But it goes back to that whole episode 1, where it's kinda understandable that she doesn't like him because of his attitude, but you know, because we've been following Nakami, we understand why he's feeling the way that he is. And so it's, but if we're looking at it from Connie's side, who don't know what he's going through, it's understandable why she's very irky at him. Irky? She's irkful? She has an ire for him. Also, for this scene with Connie asking like, hey, how are you deciding which group we're in? And he's just like, oh, I'm just going down the alphabetical order, alphabetical list, right? And then we've got these two who are just like, ugh, I have to be with you in the group? Now that I'm just thinking about the fucking Yuri shit, that's the only thing that's keeping me together with these two. Also, I realized Anabizu is wearing a tie compared to a bow tie. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, if I wasn't thinking about that whole Yuri archetype and just these two are the ones that fucking bicker with each other, but they still end up together anyways, it just gives me the reason on like, okay, I get it, you know, they've got the whole bickering thing, but if it weren't for that, I just go back to my initial point of, why the fuck are they friends if they hate each other? You know, like, I know that there are some girl groups who stick together like that, like in high school or whatever, or even after high school, perhaps, you know, where they stick together, but then they still talk shit about one another when they're not together, or even sometimes they'll talk shit about each other even when they're hanging out. You know, it's just kind of like, again, if you hate each other, why are you hanging out? You know, there's plenty more fishes of friends in the sea. Alright, anyways, I'm done talking about Connie, and we're gonna go... Well, I mean, we've been very much focused on Nakami and Isaki, and of course we're continuing to have this whole talk about romance, and that's making both Isaki and Nakami think about each other, with the first one is about Nono talking about... Let's see, hold on. So, Nakami is out here talking about the 7 fateful bridges, which I've already talked about, which is, you know, very much other bullshit. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the fact that Connie is out here just deciding to grab Mizu to come over and like, hey, you're gonna be my practice for the date that I'm gonna go on, which... Okay, totally not also a Yuri setup at all. But with Nono talking about how going on a firework date is romantic and, you know, an amazing memory that'll last a lifetime. You know, you dreamed of it too. And of course we see her thinking, and she's thinking about Nakami specifically. And of course Nono's saying like, oh, it sounds like you have someone in mind, right? With her going this, and then the next scene immediately goes to Nakami, because of course that's the person she's thinking about. And so in this scene with Nakami, he's talking with his friend Ukegawa, and they're just playing shogi together, because why not? You know, it's just two bros playing shogi together. And I really like Ukegawa. You know, he's a really nice guy. He's a good friend. He hangs out with Nakami, and he asks about Nakami's progress and everything. You know, he's like, hey, how are you doing with your pictures, and how are you doing with Isaki? And of course, he's gotta go into the whole a romance thing as well. You know, you guys are both boys and girls, you know, and you're hanging out with each other in this club together because you guys are the only fucking members in this club. What are y'all doing in there? But also with Ukegawa coming in and helping Nakami by, since Ukegawa works in the student council, and so he's gonna try and ask him if Nakami could get permission to bring his camera so he can take some pictures, which we find out later on that he didn't get permission because it's supposed to be a group activity, and Nakami can't just go out on his own and do shit. Despite it being at nighttime? Then again, they're probably, as Haida says, going out at night is definitely a delinquent activity. So anyways, as I mentioned with Ukegawa talking about his progress with, not his progress, but Nakami's progress with Isaki, that's also making Nakami thinking about the, prospect of romance as well. And I suppose that's the reason why in this next scene, not that scene, but in this scene, right, with all the friend groups meeting with each other, and we see Nakami, oh, she has a little blush, and he's just over here not making eye contacts with her, and he's just, I'm just gonna wheel off, see you later, right? And here's Ukegawa's just like, damn, dude, not even a hello? Like, damn, just gonna fucking leave her hanging like that? Whoa, shit. But we do see him having, you know, that intense blush of his, you know, he's a little embarrassed, doesn't want to talk to her. Although I still can't figure out whether he's still on that note of like, we shouldn't be talking to each other when we're at school, even though her whole friend group now knows, but I don't know, I mean, she didn't tell him about that, but I would assume, I mean, she had mentioned it before when he texted her about it, right? And she's just like, why can't I just tell my friends that I became friends with you, right? Alright, I got distracted and I don't know what I was talking about before. So I'm just going to move on. So in the next scene, we have Shiromaru, who's taking a look at Nakami's pictures and giving him feedback on it, which Nakami has taken it as, damn dude, I suck. All these pictures that I've taken, garbage, fucking trash. And so he's very much down in the dumps, you know? He's trying his best, as we saw in the beginning of the episode where he's just been taking pictures, and we kind of learn a little bit with his conversation between him and Ukegawa, where Ukegawa's just like, so you've been out every single night taking pictures? Like, damn. So we know that Nakami is out here working hard, but he's getting very little minimal payoff, right? None of his pictures are are good in Shiromaru's eyes, and they have all these flaws that's coming out. And so for him, you know, as kind of like a beginner, which as Shiromaru says, everybody feels this way in the beginning, which is an understandable thing. You're gonna go through a lot of failures in the beginning, and you just feel very down, and just know that it just feels like you're not getting anywhere, which is kind of what I said not what I said, but it's the reason why I said during your reaction of like, just think of it as experience points, you know? It's, even though you're not getting these good pictures, you're learning more and more, you're gaining more and more knowledge. And I don't know why, every time I think about life and stuff, right, I just think about The Sims. The Sims, when they start off, they don't have any fucking skills, but because they keep working at it and they keep fucking practicing, albeit they are controlled by you, so they don't really have that much of a free will, so like they're able to just put their effort into a lot of shit because you're making them do it. But, you know, they don't really start off a master at things, but as they continue doing it, they get more and more experience, they gain levels, and eventually, again, if you're just forcing them to do that, they're gonna get good really quickly, but just minus all that, right? Just minus all that. Just everything is just an experience and a learning point, right? Because that's how I initially feel a lot of the times when I first start off as writing, you know, and the scariest part in that is actually getting people to give feedback to you. And I remember that was really what I felt back in like when I started writing in elementary, you know, like my writing was just god-awful. It's god-awful, but like people were, and there were a good amount of people who were able to just give me a lot of detailed feedback, constructive criticism and all that, and giving me a little bit of a grammar, a teaching in grammar, because God knows English teachers in school do not teach you about grammar, and that's the one shitty thing about the school education system here. Like it's like a lot of the English teachers, they really only teach you about literature and reading, you know, like reading comprehensions and all that, but like they don't really give you teachings on grammar and everything, and you wonder why a lot of kids around here just write really bad. Anyways, minus that little rant that I have about the education system. We have, well, Nakami is down in the dumps, as Hōkago says, but Hōkago is also very much a bro. So when he, dude, Shiromaru is really out here just trusting strangers, even though he is friends of Nakami. She just toss him her keys to her house and just like, all right, here you go. Chill in my house. Even though I know that she's quite close and she could just come and check once, you know, she's done with her stuff, but like, damn, dude, the fucking trust. Anyways, Hōkago, the fucking lad, he goes and gives the key to Isaki as she's coming here as well. And as he says, you know, third wheel's gotta roll out. What a lad. In the next scene with Nakami and Isaki, they have a little bit of awkwardness at first because I assume they're still thinking about the whole prospect of romance and whatnot. And I like that Nakami expresses his bit of a distress to Isaki and how, you know, how he feels about how he's getting nowhere, essentially. You know, he's like, I've done everything, but I'm still messing up. All these pictures are just fucking trash, right? And so we see that Isaki kind of smiles at that a little bit before she changes the topic to something else, which is making posters for the meteor shower. And they found out that the both of them aren't really good at drawing. So they're in need of help, which I assume it's going to be no-no, because like right after this scene, when they go back to school, you know, the first thing that we see is Isaki saying, wow, you draw really good, no-no. And we also saw in episode 1, you know, she's the one who made that head. You know, she's got a bit of, she's not, well, not a bit, but she's got the artistry within her, so I can only assume that that's the person who they're gonna go for. But during this conversation, as Isaki was looking at the pictures, she saw a picture that is where the firework festival is going to take place, the Nanao Port Festival, and we see that Nakami is out here deciding that he's going to invite Isaki on a date, and of course Isaki, who's still thinking about the prior thing that Nono is talking about, right? She's just like, whoa, oh. And here is Nakami, who, despite him asking her out, he disguised it as work for the club. You know, we're not actually going on a date. We're actually doing this for our club activity. We're gonna take some fucking pictures, you know? Which, I don't know why. A lot of things that I think about whenever it's these high school stuff, you know, like if maybe something like in Rokudo's Bad Girl and how Rokudo ends up getting like a scooter and stuff, right? I'm just thinking about Persona 4 and how you study for the scooter test and you get the scooter and you get to go to like different towns, different like in a whole city and all that, you know, get to drive further away. This part right here is making me think of that moment when you can have two choices to ask for Yukiko's phone number, but if you don't have enough courage, you can't just straight out ask her for her phone number, and instead you have to disguise it as like, oh, we need to stay in contact just in case, you know, something happened and I need to call you up, you know, if we need to go into the TV or some shit, right? That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Anyways, they're out here romancing it up, and unfortunately, Shiromaru can't even enter her own home. We also saw, at this point, right, you know, Nakami's just out here staring at her NAPE. Oh my god. You know, it's just that constant look of, not look, but this constant point that the anime is giving us of the physical attraction that he is feeling towards her. Just like how Isaki, in terms of her own sort of physical attraction, you know, it's what we saw in the first episode and what we saw towards the end of this episode, how, like, she's listening to his heartbeat, and because of that, it makes her sleepy, you know, knocks her out. Who needs some fucking melatonin when you can just listen to Nakami's heartbeat? Knocks you out instantly. Anyways, we've got the whole group selection, and this is a new character that we're being introduced to. His name is Rui Haida, and he's a part of Nakami's group because of an alphabet selection, because the teacher's too fucking lazy to put it into like as a draft or even let the kids choose their own groups. But honestly, sometimes, as much as I would hate having to work with people, I'm totally fine with like if the teachers just do it for you, you know, so you don't get left out. That being said, you still kind of get left out if you're in a group that you don't want to be and they don't like you. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation either way. Anyways, Nakami doesn't like Haida just because, you know, he calls him a fucking joker and he just doesn't really want to fucking talk about it. But in the next scene, we get to see this boy talking about how it's been cloudy all day and so he can't take pictures, which makes him feel a little bit more sad because he can't, you know, put practice in. And then also he gets hit by the whole Ukikawa couldn't get him permission to bring his camera to the trip because of what I said before. As he goes and bike home, we get to see that Haida is also out here hanging out at night. Again, sitting in front of a convenience store, just chilling, being a delinquent, I guess. And so he sees Nakami, and the next day, as it continues to rain, because, you know, when it rains, it means that it's sad. So we see Haida confronting Nakami for some reason. He's being very aggressive about it for some reason, right? He's just like, you're an honor student, ain't ya, Nakamichi? He's also giving him a nickname too, like... You know, he goes and he says that, but I saw you the other day. Loitering in the middle of the night is total delinquent behavior. Like, where are you rushing off on your bike with a backpack filled to the brim? It was sus as hell, which is just like, none of your fucking business, especially with what he said afterwards, which is, I'm not gonna fucking tell on you because that's gonna get me in trouble too. So it's like, what's your point? You know, if you're using this as blackmail material, then, like, that's understandable. But if you're gonna go and like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking tell on you about this shit, like, what the hell? Us delinquents gotta stick together. So it's like, is this just your initial interest on him? You know, like, are you interested in Nakami, which is kind of an understandable thing, because as he says, I thought you're an honor student, but here you are doing delinquent activities. So, you know, that brings him some sort of solidarity Is that what it is? Solidarity between delinquents? But despite Haida saying that he's not gonna tell on him, unfortunately, Hakui sensei overhears them because he's also in the bathroom, and, you know, the both of them get taken to the teacher's office. And as he says, I'm willing to let you off with just a stern warning this time. And I've already talked a little bit about how he just kinda, you know, he's the representative of someone who doesn't really understand insomnia, but also kind of, in a way, I know that Japan is not exactly good with, mental health issues, you know, whether, like, people just don't really know, like, they're a little ignorant about it, or they just think of it as a sort of just a weakness sort of thing, you know? So, he's really the representative of that, where he just says, like, oh, if you can't go to sleep, just exercise during the day. You know, like that the camera is showing his muscles when he was saying that. That's why I'm so buff, I can't sleep, that's why I work out during the daytime. Or, you know, as he says, just lay in bed and eventually you'll just drift off, you know, you just gotta tough through it. But during this whole session, yeah, exercising, whatever, and then his whole fucking muscles and all that. And so, as he's thinking about Isaki and how desperate she was in the first episode, right? And how she was talking about, like, how she can't sleep and it drives her fucking nuts. But this kind of goes back to the whole feeling of, like, how Japan would be a bit ignorant. You know, I know Korea is quite fucking ignorant on like mental health issues, but, you know, Japan is also there as well, and you can kind of see it in the line that Hakui is talking, which is any healthy person should get a good night's rest. Otherwise, it's a sign they're messed up somehow. Which, I mean, it's kind of true. It's just the way that you're wording it is quite rude. You know, like, yeah, there is something wrong. It's called insomnia, but it's... Again, it's just to say that they're fucking messed up, especially to kids. You know, you're talking to high schoolers, and you're making the assumption if they can't sleep, and now you're making this talk about, oh, if you can't get a good night's rest, you're not a healthy person, and you're fucking messed up. And it's like, alright, teacher, you probably shouldn't be saying that to kids, but you do you know? You're a fucking teacher teaching, I don't know what you're teaching, but you're a homeroom teacher and all that. You're not a fucking counselor. You know, you're not a fucking therapist, alright? But as he says that, and as Nakami is thinking of Isaki, of course, he gets very angry about this, and he just, damn, dude, he just straight up just calls him an asshole, like, damn, dude. The things he'll do for Isaki. And so, in this next scene, with the amount of Terubozu that is being hung right now, it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of grim, considering the fact that you have to hang them by their neck. Anyways, yeah, we see Isaki is still staying very optimistic, and as I said in the beginning of this discussion, you know, we get to see the opposite of how these two react to things. But it's also understandable because Nakami is already feeling down by the fact that he's unable to get good pictures despite him literally only just starting out. You know, he's already expecting good results, which perhaps that could stems from the fact that, from what Kani says, you know, oh, he's a genius, you know, he's so good at taking tests, or he's just so good at other things or whatever, and now here he is with this thing, which is the photography, the astrophotography, and he's just unable to grasp it immediately, and that's what gets him a little frustrated. I don't know, just making a wide assumption. But as Isaki's out here making these charms, you know, with this many charms, the weather is sure to clear up, and here we have Nakami, who's just like, you can stop now. You know, the forecast for the seaside camp is cloudy for all 3 days, and well, you know, there's no way we're getting any pictures, and I've also have gone Hakui's bad side, so, like, we're fucked. We are absolutely fucked. But we see she's not gonna take this, and so she goes over to him and essentially lift his head up, because he's just looking down, and you should keep your head up high. And as she says, enough with the doomsaying. And this goes back to the beginning when she was hanging out with her friend, right? With the way that she says, nothing good ever comes from fretting about something that's over and done with. You know, he's, yeah, you got on Hakui's bad side and all that, but who cares? You know, that's, you went and done it, but there's no need to fucking worry about that, or there's no need to worry about the fact that you didn't get permission or anything like that. And I like that she goes and she makes a promise with him. And also, you know, smile, brother. Let's make a promise. If the weather happens to clear up at night, we'll meet each other on the beach under the starry sky. And of course, this is also when she does this, right? The softening of the lighting, right? It gets very soft and it changes. It very much changes the mood of it changes the mood of the episode and how she's essentially the light of his life. But the promise works, and so he goes and he makes a Tero Bozu as well. With her making this promise, it gives him hope. It gives him something to look forward to, because hey, if it does magically clear up at night, you know, I get to meet up with her on the beach under the starry sky. So, fucking good for him. And as he says, please let the weather clear up. So, very nice. And the only thing left is towards the end with her, you know, testing out her theory of falling asleep to Nakami's heartbeat. So that's just her again going in and like finding out that, oh my god, just listening to his heartbeat just knocks me out instantly. It's a fucking drug. So it's very nice, you know, that both of them are just napping together. Hopefully nobody comes in during this time and see that they're napping together. Other than Kurashiki-sensei, who's just going to be like, alright guys, you're lucky that I'm the one who came in here, not anybody else. But I assume we're going to see the, what is it, the trip in the next episode. I assume that's what we're going to do, so that will be fun. And consider that Nakami is in a group with Haida. I was gonna say Hakui. Haida. We'll just have to see how Haida reacts to him after this whole spiel. You know, he found out that Nakami's not not an honor student. Perhaps he's quite the delinquent. He's out here hanging out at night with a backpack full to the brim of stuff. And then when he gets chewed out by Hakui-sensei, he just straight up calls him an asshole. So like, that's like just breaking his imagery of who Nakami is. So it'll be interesting to see how it reacts to Nakami, whether he would consider wanting to befriend Nakami or not. But, you know, here's Haida, who is being a bit, as Nakami says, being a bit of a joker at school, but he's also hanging out with other people at night in front of the convenience store. So we'll just have to see if we're gonna get a bit of focus on Haida or not. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.